Good afternoon, good morning, you lovely lot. Good evening to you guys across in Oz. I hope you are well. I hope you enjoyed Wake Up Call, and now you're here for our Monday edition of Colour Me Happy, where we delve into, well, the world of colour here on Crafters TV from Crafters Companion and Spectrum Noir. But I am not all on my own. We were together for Wake Up Call. We're back together again for Monday Makers. But as I say, this is the mid show of the day, Colour Me Happy on a Monday, and I'm here with Debbie.
Yeah, minus a tooth.
Oh no.
Minus a tooth. I've lost a bit of a tooth.
Oh no.
On a jacket spud of all things off. The tooth has crumbled away.
Not even a really hard toffee or anything like that.
Nope, not at all. Nice soft potato. And I thought, what's that crunchy bit? Then realised it was the tooth. So never mind. We're all ready and ready to go. I'm so excited because I love Colour My Happy shows. I've always been a big fan of this show ever since we first started them, and normally everybody who watches me knows that I'm usually kind of that technique one that does all the techniques, and we have got a lot that we've got to cover. However, I thought I would do some finish makes. So we have got water reactive inks, we've got tricolour pens on, we've got shimmer inks,
nice,
gilding waxes,
nice,
Duet ink pads.
Oh,
I
nice.
love the Duet ink pads. I can't tell you how much I love those. Shimmer ink pads.
Oh, stop it, Debbie.
I know it's tempting and teasing you at this time in the afternoon, but I can't wait to get started. So yes, it's going to be a good one. Stay tuned, grab yourselves a cuppa and join us for the next 2 hours. And also, any questions you want to ask about anything, Craig, I'm more than happy to answer them while I'm here.
Excellent. That's so good to know. We've got Susie on social. So get in contact via social, of course, whether it is Facebook or, of course, whether it is on YouTube. Get the questions through. Let us know what you've been working on, what you've been colouring on, but specifically, well, Debbie's here, she says, more than happy to cover any questions, so fire them across. We had a couple that we will look at later on in the day on Monday Makers that was talking about envelopes and scoreboard. Debbie's going to touch upon that within Monday Makers. But as we said beforehand, whether it's Facebook, whether of course it is YouTube, get your questions in. Right, also just to let you know that we are on day 3 of our 7 days of summer event. Now what does that mean? Every single day up until midnight your time, you've got a different benefit across on our website. Now today it's 3 for the price of 2 on buddy bags. So you can check out the website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au. You're going to see a lovely big yellow and blue banner, hence why I've gone with the yellow today, where you're going to get the 3 for 2 on buddy bags. So click onto that. All of the buddy bags that are there available within that 7 days of summer promotion of day 3, you can then have a look at. And then when you pop them into the basket, you don't need to do any promo code or anything like that. It will deduct the least expensive item out of the 3 of them. So you've got that one going as well. Section's still there for 50% off. You can have a look at there while you are there, of course, on the website. But you can then be shopping ahead when it comes to shop the day. So we'll give you a little bit of a preview within Wake Up Call, but this is all about, of course, Colour Me Happy, as Debbie was saying. Lots of gorgeous products on the show. So as I said, we have got Susie T on social. Suzanne Dawn is saying, hello crafty friends, Craig, Debbie and the CCTV crew. We've got the same team today. We've got James, we've got Johnny, and we've got Tracy is out there with Liv as well. Christine Mahoney's in saying good morning everyone. Alicia Gordon saying good morning and greetings from Arkansas. So he's in saying working from home while listening to my favourite channel. Betty Weaver saying hello from Idaho. We've got Sarah's in saying hi Debbie, Craig and the Crafters TV team. Mary Beth Doyle saying hi again from Minnesota. Charlene's in from Florida. We've also got Sarah on Facebook saying Colour Me Happy is my second favourite show. My first one is launch day. Saying nothing. Tomorrow. Stephanie, good morning everyone. Good morning Craig, Debbie, Susie, CCTV team and crafty friends from Farmdale, New Jersey. We've got Angela Harris saying good morning from Oklahoma. I can't sing like Ben can. And we've got Lillian Walk, hi Debbie, Craig and everyone here. When it comes to Oklahoma, I just think of Chandler and Friends when he moves to Oklahoma for his job, Tulsa, Oklahoma. So, as Debbie said, any questions, fire them across, but let's get started within Colour Me Happy. We're going to be having a look at our Harmony Water Reactive. Now, this is an 8-piece collection here, and on that today's price, £40 or $60, you're going to get 15% off. Now, that 15% works out as, well, essentially, you're getting 1 and a bit of these water reactive ink pads for free. Now, the 8 of them you're going to get is smoked pearl. You're then going to be getting your pumice. You're then going to be getting your parakeet, one of our all-time favourites. You're going to get crushed velvet. You've then got spa blue. You've then got damson wine. You've also got pale fig. And then you're also going to get seal brown. Now these are Harmony, these are water reactive. Out of all of the ink pads, these are my favourite and go-to. These are so versatile being water-based. You can see as well with the picture of the ink pad there that you've got a blending tool that lets you know they're going to be really good for doing different blending techniques. If you want to go for all 8 of them, they're on shop today, £40, $60 with a 15% saving. Platinum price, however, comes down to £32 or $48.co.uk.com.au. That's where you need to go. The other place you need to go is over to Debbie.
Thank you very much. Let's get cracking. Let's get started. Water reactive ink pads. Oh my God. And with Craig, they're such a versatile one. They're absolutely fabulous, actually, as are all of our ink pads, actually, to be fair. And why each one does a different job. Water reactive, instantly you know what that means because they are reactive with water.
Go figure.
But absolutely love them for distressing, for blending, for lots of your techniques that you can do. You can paint with them. Craig often talks about it. He paints a lot with his. You've got so many different things that you can do with these fabulous ink pads. I am actually going to use some of the embossing folders that are on the show as well because I'm going to show you straightforward how to get a lovely blend, how you can do the water reactiveness with them as well, and also how you can enhance embossing techniques with them too. So I've chosen pale, oh I nearly said it again, pale fig.
Okay.
I keep wanting to call it pale pig. I do it all the time, I don't know why I do it, but I look at it and I keep calling that pale pig. It's pale fig. The lighter tone of the purple family, and then we've got the crushed velvet as well. So I am going to be using a bit of both.
Okay.
Noticeable between our ink pads, this is a felt base. Ergonomically shaped, so you can see straight away with the design, the oval design, does mean that you can go into the little tiny bits as well as large bits here. 2 ways that you can do this. You can take your ink applicator directly into the ink pad, or you can use your glass mat.
Okay.
I will be totally honest, when I'm doing anything, when I want to create a nice big colour, Craig, I absolutely do pop some down onto the mat.
Okay.
Pick it up. I also have a little spare bit of tissue at the side of me, and I am using watercoloured cardstock.
Okay.
Only because I'm going to get the best results. They will go onto your smooth cardstock. Application-wise, though, you can get that. Do you know what we talk about the blocking? Where, as in, like, you put it down and you get like a square patch. They don't move as well as they do on water reactive cards or watercolour cardstock.
Okay.
So for me, my personal choice will always be going in and going on because you can blend a little bit more with it. And again, a little bit of ink goes a long way, but if you want to load your brush up, get quite a lot down and then just go on and blend that across. And again, the effect that you get with watercolour cardstock is just, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the pittiness to it.
I like that. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and that's because you've got more texture with your water reactive. The reason I'm putting a bit of tissue over the top is because I'm very warm and fingers get lots of moisture, so I don't want to get any on there. So I am deliberately choosing to do that now.
Okay,
again, you can go directly in with your brush as well and directly over the top. So there's no right or wrong way. The lovely thing about these ink pads is, I don't know if you've noticed with others, but they pop it down. Oh, you can tell it's mine, can't you? I do apologise.
We all name our own products here.
It's because it's come from my home. You'll see people pick it up and then they'll run up to the cardstock. So they take it from there and then they run up to it to go on. You don't. You can go directly onto your cardstock instantly with your ink. And I promise you, I want you to try this at home. Get your ink. Don't be worried about splodging it straight on because it is being designed to get those lovely blends, get that lovely swoosh of colour all the way around without the use of anything, to be fair. And again, I'm just going to come on and I am going to add a little bit of the darker colour as well. So I'm going to do that straight away. So let me just pop a lot of that pale Fig, nearly did
Pale
it again.
fig, just about,
Pale
just
fig.
about.
And then I'm going to come in now with, and we have ink applicators on the show as well, but I'm going to come in with a bit of the crushed velvet, and I'm just going to go around the edges to frame it a little bit, and it'll become apparent in a second why I'm doing this. So again, I'm just coming round the edges, round those corners, but getting that blend between the two is really nice. It's smooth.
It is
it's
smooth,
seamless. And that's why these ink pads for me are so incredibly versatile and so incredibly good as well. I'd never tire of using them. Never ever tire of using them.
And as you can imagine as well, Debbie, so I've had my full set since I first joined, so like 4.5 years ago. I've not replaced one of them.
Nope.
These are my favourite ink pads, what are reactive. I go to them day in, day out, and I've not had to replace. I've not even had to turn them upside down, but sometimes we would suggest if you feel it's starting to go dry. I've not even had to do that, Debbie.
No, mine are still going strong. These actually are from me original when I purchased them in the shop.
Is that really?
Yeah, when they
Gosh.
first came out, because I'm like you, Craig, I do use them a lot, especially for things like inky backgrounds. So that's the two colours, and then obviously the way we call the water reactive is that you can get the effects that you can get with water reactive as well. So I mean by that, pot of water, Shell's tub, and your brushes. Now the thinner your brush and the thinner your brush you use with flicking your water onto the top, the finer the detail.
Okay.
You could use a spritzer, can't remember the word then. You could use a spritzer, which gives you a really fine detail, but I prefer the droplet one. So if you're using a thicker brush, you'll get more droplets down, and just splash that across your paper, cardstock.
I think out of everything, every technique out there in the crafty industry, Debbie, as much as I love heat embossing, one of my favourites, this has got to be one of my all-time favourite techniques, just the full bleaching.
I love this technique. And you can already start to see. Now, these react differently to the Duet ink pads, which are like an hybrid ink, that got like a bit of pigment in with water reactive as well. So you get a different kind of effect. In terms of when this lifts with water, you get the undertone underneath, so it's got that pink tone to it. With a Duet ink pad, the kind of technique that you'll do, and I'll probably show that as we come along, but with the Duet ink pad, you will get more of a whiter, chalkier kind of finish to it. And that's because it's a duet, so it's got the two inks in there.
Okay.
I'm going to just literally dab my tissue that I've just been using over the top. I never ever tire of this technique. I'm like you, Craig. In fact, I tell you who taught me this one, the great Shimmer.
Did she?
She did indeed. And I love it. And I really do love that subtle feature that you get, and I love the pink undertone running through that you get from those gorgeous purples that you can see there. Now, I'm not finished with it, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my embossing folder. This is a 3D embossing folder, so I'm feeling for the raised side, because I want the raised side to push through my cardstock. So let's go in and then just run that through. Now, this is a 3D folder, so we need to remember the combination for the 3D folder, which is cutting plate, magnetic shim, followed by now the super toughened plastic shim.
Perfect.
And then just run that through. Now that's your combination for 3D embossing.
Okay.
Just 3D. 2D, two cutting plates, that's all you need to remember. And then when that goes through, it will have the raised element to it, but at the minute you're probably thinking, well, I can't really see that very much, Debbie. I can see a little bit of it, but I can't really see very much. Well, God, can't tell you.
We've still got them in stock, have we?
Oh, well, yes, they better stay there. Double check for me,
Yeah.
Debbie. You're getting your ink daubers or your finger daubers. They sit neatly onto the top of your fingers. I absolutely love these, and these are perfect for this kind of technique that I'm going to do now, because I've got the two purples down, but I'm going to come back in with a darker one, the crushed velvet, and I'm going to go directly into my ink pad, and then and what it does is with the 3D element, it picks up that ink.
Oh, they are in stock, Debbie. $24.99 or $32. That's for your 40 finger daubers that Debbie's using. If you're platinum, that comes down to $19.99 or $26.39. You're going to find them on the website, but you can check them out.
I'm glad they're still in stock, Craig, because I still haven't got... So I have ink daubers for my water reactive, my quick dry, and my pigment. And I just need now a set for my duets, and because the duet and the shimmer will more than cater me 40.
Got you, yeah.
So
true,
that's the next ones I want, so that I'm glad they're still in stock.
Yep,
because
they're in.
I need to get my hands on another set before they go out of stock and then disappear for quite possibly what felt like years.
It did, didn't it?
It did, it felt like years. In fact, I'm going to ace that I think it was well over a year.
Well, I remember the other month there when they were meant to be back in stock with Debbie Fisher, who absolutely loved them. Oh, I've never seen Debbie throw a strop like that she did that day that she found out that they weren't back in stock. Oh my gosh, ink pads were being thrown, lights were being torn down. Oh, she wasn't happy. She wasn't happy at all.
There's another Debbie Diva in the building then, is there? Diva Debbie?
No, joking, as if Debbie would be like that. But yeah, she was gutted.
I've never seen Debbie do anything like that. She just laughs it off, doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
She's so laid back, she's almost horizontal. Now, look at the detail that you get just by simply rubbing that across the top. Absolutely, it is just gorgeous. It really, really is. And then again, if you just want to emphasise a little tickle around the edges, come on round the edges with it as well, and just give that little tickle around there. What you can also do as well is, because of your ink, just go around the edges so that it keeps it nice and soft, especially if you, because I'm going to lift mine in a second. But there is in this set a set of dies that enable you then to do a little bit of die cutting as well. Because in this, you've got your 3D embossing folder, which looks gorgeous just as it is, but then you can come in, and the lovely thing about these is you've got 3 different frames. So you could add paper on to give that pyramage effect, or you could cut apertures in from a large aperture to a smaller one, to an even smaller one. Come on. Or the last one, again, even more smaller. So you've got them as a nesting die, but also as a creating an aperture in the centre. Run that through your die cutting machine and you'll create. Now, I use the second one down for that one, Craig, out of my set.
Okay.
I use the second one to cut that out. It doesn't flatten as well. I know people have asked me this before, but it does not flatten that image. Because people think that you get a flattened image.
Know,
it doesn't. I promise you, I did that after. I did this first, like you've just seen me do, and then ran the die through. I didn't do it any other different way. I'm not going to start lining up a die, trying to hope and pray that it's going to sit in there, because I tell you, it'll all go wrong. So do it that way, and I promise you, I've not lost any of the 3D feel to it. I can feel it all raised. The only thing I've done is pop some foam pads onto the back, and then bringing in a card. Oh, get rid of you ink, because otherwise it's
I'm just thought of another technique there, Debbie. You're saying, okay, it doesn't flatten the detail.
Yep.
But let's say you ran it through with extra layers and you flattened the embossed detail. You're going to have that inky pattern instead.
You follow. Yeah, you could pop it back in.
Yeah.
So you could go back in with it and line it back up. So you're going to be able to line it back up so that you get if you wanted to. But I can promise you, this was done after I'd done that ink that you'd see me just do there, from this to that.
But what was meaning, Debbie, is if you deliberately flattened it afterwards, deliberately done it, okay, it would be flat, but you'd have that inky detail that you've just done.
Now, this is a 5x7 card blank, Craig.
Okay.
This is watercolour cardstock again, and do you know what I've done? Gone round edge. And the reason I've gone round the edge and not the whole of it is because that's covering it up. And I didn't want any of that to cover up. And also, can I just tell you, the middle bit that I cut out, I didn't want to waste, because that's going to sit in the back as well. So that's why I've just gone round the edge. Repeated that technique of splashing the water over. This time, though, I used a really thick brush, and I think you can see the difference between my brushes. And that was deliberate. It wasn't, I did it deliberately. I used a very thin brush for this one and a very thick brush for that to create 2 different techniques onto the one. And then I'm going to pop that over the top. So let me grab my poke tool, where are you, poke tool? There you go. Come on. See, a moment ago, were you going around the edge there, that little bit darker with a blending tool? It's going to separate it, isn't it, from that background that you've created? Absolutely. Absolutely. Come on. Do you know, Craig, remind me, I need to order some more foam pads.
You need to order more.
Yeah, because these are I've talked to you before about having my foam pads near some warmth.
Yes.
Silly me.
They don't like warmth, do they?
I put them on my windowsill like a turnip. And honest to goodness, the heat from the because over the sun comes back at the back end of my house later on,
right?
Which is usually quite warm still. And believe you me, we have had some sun.
We have, yeah, we have.
Not much just of late, but I had them in the windowsill like a fool. So that backing, I've been struggling to get off. Oh, don't get carried away, Debbie. Don't get carried away. I've got a plain piece of white cardstock. I'm going to line that over the top. Make sure I've got that nice and. Can I just do this by eye before I put it down?
Of course you can.
Thank you. Pop that over the top because I wanted it to be a nice little white, a bit of a break-up between between the framing there. So I'm going to pop that on, and then I'm going to come in with, and to get the matching background paper as well. I've not used any paper whatsoever.
No, you've
I've
not.
just used our watercolour cardstock. Coming back in with that little background, I am actually going to put some runny glue. I say runny glue, runny for a reason, because it gives me wiggle time to get it back into there and lay a little bit flatter, like so. And let me just do that by eye again. So I've got no white space. And that's still matching there. And then all I've done is added, but of course.
Of course.
It has to come out. I just love this. And I'm debating, do I go at the bottom? Ooh. Do I go in the middle?
They both work, don't they?
Because I have as well, timeless butterflies. Gotta have some butterflies. All matching as well from the same ink colours, literally splashed, die cut, done. I'm debating, Craig. I'll think about that in a second. Let me just think.
Having a look, see where you want to go.
Do you like it in the bottom? Or do you like it in the middle, Craig? Craig, I'm going with you. Actually, I've made a mistake. I've got a little bit of pink on there. Are you shaking your head? Do you
no,
like
not at me, not at me. No, not at me.
Oh.
See, I like the middle.
Yeah?
I like the middle, but then I'm very kind of like symmetrical and straight lines, but it does work at the bottom.
Yes, worked both sides to be fair, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to stick with the middle though. I did miss that, Johnny. What did I miss?
Nothing.
Oh, I'm going to, you know, these boys, working with boys today, they're leading me up the garden path, they are. Do you know what though? I love the fun that we have here.
We do.
We talk about this, we have too much fun. And they call this work, Craig.
I know, it's hard to believe that, isn't it?
I don't know how we get away with it.
How we get away with it. Every morning when I wake up after I've been here all day, I'm just expecting an email coming through. Hey, you're in today, Craig. Can you just come into the office before you start your show, please? I keep waiting on it. It's never happened yet.
Oh, why would it, Craig? We all love you. Although saying that, I know what you mean. I've had days where I felt like that thinking, oh, they're going to be having me in, they're going to be having me in. And I worked with Sarah this weekend, and I was like,
no.
Has she been watching? Some of the faux pas of late.
The thing is, and I always throw it back in your direction at home. You guys love the fun, the interaction we have. You join in as well. We sometimes have little slip of the tongues. Me and Debbie are the worst, but you know it's slip of the tongue. It's a little bit of fun, but you take ideas, you take inspiration, and you can work with what Debbie's just shown you there.
And there you go. Use a bit of watercolour cardstock, an embossing folder with the nesting dies, my little timeless butterfly dies, and 2 ink colours to create a really, I mean, honestly, you can make cards really simple. You don't have to go down the line of thinking of all the different collections. Use something that works together really well. You've got a great deal on some water reactive ink pads. Try them. If you've never tried them before, I can guarantee you're going to absolutely love them from all the different techniques they can use. This is one technique in a plethora of lots more. And for me, absolutely a must-have buy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And if anyone ever says to me, and actually someone really asked me that just recently, out of all the ink pad, what's my personal first go-to? If you had none, what would you go to? I always say water reactive. You can get these 8-piece water reactive bundles here, £40 or $60. The 8 of them you're going to get is the crushed velvet. You're going to get the pumice. You're then going to be getting the seal brown. You're going to get the spa blue. You're going to get the parakeet. You're going to get the smoked pearl. You're going to get the pale fig. And then you're also going to get the damson wine. Now, I'm just thinking, okay, there's not necessarily greens or oranges or such, but these colours are going to work well for fall and Halloween. If you got that Halloween colour Centura Pearl bundle yesterday, they're going to work well. Now, of course, when it comes to Centura Pearl, it's a coated cardstock, but I mean, when you start to tie in what me and Debbie show you a week on Sunday on a big first look of Halloween collections. You'll have your Halloween cardstock ready to go. You'll have Halloween-esque colours from your water reactives that you're going to be able to use. So it's always thinking ahead as well when it comes to the seasons and the themes throughout the years. So that's your water reactive ink pads 8-pack bundle. You can get them at a platinum price as well at £32 or $48. They are, of course, on Shop the Day. We have got Beth Valone's in saying, good morning, crafty friends from a very wet upstate New York. It's not wet here today. I think it's maybe travelled your direction. Lynn Bledsoe is saying hello from Indiana. We've got Marcia's in from Germany saying hello. Hello to you. We've also got Paul Pinchtime 4 saying it's sunny here in South Carolina. Kirsty D's in saying hello, everyone. Michelle Harris is in saying hello. Thank you, Alicia. Alicia's saying, Craig, I like the grey and yellow colours you are wearing. You need to wear more grey combinations. A lot of people lately have said to me, well, when I say a lot of people, it's maybe like 6 people or something. Let's say a lot. Said how much I really suit grey. I like grey. I like grey. So I'll take that on board, Alicia. Alison Mars back in again from Aberdeenshire. Pammy is saying, good morning, Craig, Debbie and the crew from central New Jersey. Beth Falone, Johnny's just gone, hello, and Jamie's just gone, howdy. We've then got, was that a good impression? If only you could have heard them as well. Beth Falone is in saying, today is my husband and I's 47th wedding anniversary.
57th?
47th.
47th?
Mad an extra 10 years
Beth.
there.
Wow.
47th anniversary. Congratulations.
Yes.
Johnny wants to know what the secret is. And see how I didn't say we want to know what the secret is. Johnny wants to know what the secret is. We've also got Pammy saying, water reactives are so versatile. I love working with them. Clarice is in. Hello, Clarice. It's lovely to see you again. Is in from South Carolina. We've got Linda is in from Maryland. We've got Jamie is in saying, I love the colour background. It gives me some ideas how to use mine. That's what we're all about. Anne's in saying, the closed captions said these are doorbells. Daubers are doorbells. Evelyn's in from Colorado. Colleen's in. Cindy Connie is saying, love this, Debbie, love crafting. It's my happy place. I think it's the same for all of us. All of our happy place as well. Jamie Ennis is in saying, I love doing some Christmas backgrounds this week. Use my ink pads and my sparkle pens. It would be a nice combination as well. June loves what you've done. This is everything that you've been saying about what Debbie's made there. Catherine's loved it. Pammy, Linda, Clarice. We've got Charlotte Clark. We've got Cindy Conde. We've got Caroline. All loving what you've done. It's same as Christine Mahoney saying, gorgeous Debbie, made a gorgeous card. Goes to show what you could do with one colour of your water reactive ink pads. So that's water reactive. Now, maybe you want to have some paper pads when it comes to Christmas paper pads. Now, we're going to have a look at Frosty and Brights. Now, these have come back after huge demand. This is something that we don't do. We don't bring anything back. After the sheer demand of mini memories, we've got them back. And after sheer demand of Christmas, popular Christmas 12 by 12 paper pads, we've brought these ones back. Now, we brought them back. There is not many left whatsoever. Frosty and Bright 12 by 12, 36 sheets. Now, these ones $14.99 or $19.95. You've got a platinum price of $11.99. $11.99 platinum price, $15.96. Absolutely crazy. And of course, you can be using these all Christmas, every Christmas, because Christmas isn't specific when it comes to styles, etc. You might have different styles each Christmas or different colours, but you're going to be able to use these and tie these in with whatever colour theme that runs throughout next year. Now, within this one, it is your 12 by 12. It came from Frosty and Bright. So we've got our pink tones. We've got our mint tones there. A lot of the foliage with a lot of mistletoe running all the way through. We've got some lilacs in here. These have got your foliage with your berries. You've got them being double-sided as well. So the opposite side is always going to complement the foreground. However, you're going to be able to use and team them together. Little bit of your rose gold browns in there as well. Full edge to edge when it comes to the imagery. Setting that scene already done for you. Of course, come and chop them up. Mats and layers, card fronts, of course, on your card blanks, or of course, great way to be using them when it comes to your 12 by 12 scrapbooking. Frosty and Bright, 36 sheets within these ones, and you have got in total, you've got these, well, as I say, 36 sheets. So that is your Frosty and Bright. Let's have a look at 'Tis the Season here. Now, when it comes to the 'Tis the Season, all of these ones here, just so that you know, so if you are going to be shopping ahead of me, they are all $14.99 or $19.95 with a platinum price of $11.99 or $15.96. So it's still on Frosty and Bright just for the moment, but you'll find that these are all on the website, exactly the same price as well. Now, this was a lovely one from last year. All lovely, of course, but this one being more of kind of your the woodland feel with the colours. You've got your robin, your holly, and you've got your berries as well. Much more of your browns, your tans, you've got your craft colours, but then what you've also got is your reds within the berry as well as your robin red breast. You're also going to get card fronts in here, so chop them up into 4 and that's your card blanks done. Little sentiment, that's all that you need to do, nothing more. You want to add inks, sparkle, glitter paste, any of your glitter glues, of course you can do. It's entirely up to yourself, but you've got that option. Other than your card blanks, and of course your adhesive, you can make the most beautiful cards very, very simply by doing the chop up of 4. Now another one here where you've got the background on the double-sided. So you look straight into the background of the main image, it's then transferred through onto the opposite side. So maybe you don't want to use that full imagery when it comes to the design, you don't have to, but you get a few pages of each, so if you want to do fussy cutting and decoupage, you can do. Edge to edge again, some of these are just corner aspects. See within this one here with your pine cones and your berries, you've got that lovely little border along the top and more of that deeper border along the bottom there. This one is more of a full round edge, corner to corner imagery. You can see the details on your screen right now for your 'Tis the Season. As you can see, it's exactly the same price, but maybe you're going to bring in some of your creative card dies or your framework dies and more of the 6x6 that you can chop into for your card fronts. So that's your 'Tis the Season, same price as before, $14.99 or $19.95 with a platinum of $11.99 or $15.96. What about a Winter's Tale? You want a Winter's Tale? Well, we've got that, 36 sheets as well, double-sided, $14.99, $19.95. And when it comes to this one here, this was originally, so this didn't come with a collection as in folder stamp dies. This come as like a duo collection. This was one of 2 paper pads. So if you are out and about there looking for stamp and dies, this isn't from a collection as such. This paper pad was unbelievably busy when we first launched it. You guys loved this Winter Tale. Not surprised, this was a huge demand from all of you from wanting it at home. But you've got the 12 by 12 scenes already set. Baubles hanging along the top. You've got your reds in there that you can see with the foliage as well as the stockings. But you've got your mix of your navies, your teal, duck egg blues. You've got your ruby reds in there, hints of lilacs too. Once again, as I was saying before with the other ones, if you want to chop them down, maybe like that one there, if you want to then start to do your theatre cards, maybe you want to do your concept cards by cutting into a few of these sheets, creating depth, you can do that. Or if you're lucky enough to get that puffy snow, nice one to be using when it comes to the tops of the houses or maybe just some of the land of the snow. That's your Winter Tale. So that Winter Tale, $14.99 or $19.95 for the platinum, $11.99 or $15.96. Vintage Snowman, we're going to go with the Vintage Snowman here. Once again, 12 by 12, 36 sheets, and you can get all of these ones individually. 180 GSM within these ones. I'm going to go back to front on this one here. But we've then got double-sidedness. Now you've got navy blues with your reds as well as your rubies, but then what you've got is all themed around the snowman. Snowman, snow lady, snow family. Chopping them up gives you the borders, give you like extra long, extra wide, extra thick borders, but you can come in and cherry pick section I mean, that one there with the Starry Night and the navy blue with the lanterns just hanging away there. Don't need to do much, but if you do love to do your boxes, you know, maybe you want to do your lanterns yourself, of course you can do that. But then what you've got is additional toppers, so card fronts, so chop them out into 4. There is your scenes already done. Bring additional stamping dies from your Christmas collection. Of course you can use them and these ones, or maybe chop them up for your mini memories. Maybe you're going to be doing your big scrapbook pages at the end of the Christmas season, but then you've got additional card fronts as well. So you can come along with these. All of these are matte, all of them, so you can add extra ink. Maybe you're going to go for that water reactive bundle. Some of the deep tones you can start to edge all the way around, or maybe you're going to add a little bit of spritz and glitz and glamour when it comes to your shimmer sprays, etc. You can do that. And then we're going to go with the last one here, Watercolour Christmas. Now, if there was ever a 12 by 12 pad that was a comprehensive card making kit all in one, this is going to be it. Background, imagery toppers, and you've got your die cut toppers as well. So 12 by 12 when it comes to the design. This one has got more of a character feel to this one. So you've got the cute element. It's not cutesy cute, so you can absolutely be using these ones for older generation within the household, but once again double-sided, so the opposite side's going to complement the front, but then you can start to team them together, no problem whatsoever. Very heavy with blues in this one, certainly with your baby blues, even your teals, but then you've got your silver foiling within these ones. Well, we're going to go into the navies. This is another one where you'll either have the borders along top and bottom, or the sides, or all the way round. But if we go a little bit further, I love that one. Anyone with woodwork style, I love pattern papers like that. We're going to skip to a few. I mean, look at that one. Really nice, that one. Even a Christmas home decor element, that would be lovely. But then you've got your 6x6 card fronts that you've got. Nothing more. Pop them on your card blanks. Done. But add your gems and embellishments if you want to. You've got a few pages of additional ones as well, so you're going to be able to make a lot of card fronts. These are probably going to fit easier onto things such as your 5x5, a little bit of that elongated rectangle, but you've got your ribbon borders down the side, and then you've got your die cut toppers here. So this is what I mean between the 12 by 12 papers, your 6x6 or 5x7 card fronts, and then all these little die cut toppers. You can stamp on them, you can ink on them, any of your sentiments within that banner, of course. You can ink, you can even do additional fussy cutting if you want to, because you've got a few sheets of each. 12 by 12, 36 sheets. That one is also, just like all of them, $14.99 or $19.95 with a platinum price of $11.99 or $15.96. When these go, these have gone. I know some of you will have seen them within a bundle with Sarah and Ben last week. Managed to hold back a few of them just as individuals now. Bethlehem went, probably one of my favourites out of them all. I adored that one, but that one already went. So you've still got the options of these ones here, either as a top-up on the collection that you'd bought when the collections were first launched, or of course, just as a standalone paper pad. But you can go for all of them. Right, let's have a look at our Duet ink pads here. Still lots of love I can see coming up through from what Debbie just showed before, and how you can make that card with the embossing detail beautiful with an ink pad. That was with the water reactive ink pads. This time what we have got is our Duet ink pad. So I'll let Debbie explain these in a lot more detail in a moment, but these are more like the newer kids on the block when it comes to our ink pad range. You will notice the shape of them, similar of course to our previous ones being the Shimmer ink pads, more nice and handy, should I say, more comfortable to hold in your hand. Spring Bud, we've got Awakening Forest, we've got Sailor's Wake, we've also got Waterfall. When it comes to the Midnight Mist, giving you a deeper blue, you're getting a soft heather, you're then getting Vintage Merlot, you're getting Raspberry Ripple, you're getting Rosy Apple. We're then also going to be giving you your Sweet Clementine. Then you're going to be getting your Sunrise Glow as well. These are the Duet ink pads 10-piece bundle selection, £56 or $84. You of course are going to be getting your platinum price on top of that as well, £44.80 or $67.20. Also on shop today, but just giving you a little bit of a heads up. Not really featured them a lot of such, certainly within today, and they're already a key staple today. So many of you have been checking them out, taking advantage of your Club Inspire. What's the difference with these Duet ink pads,
These
Debbie?
are fabulous. Now, if you was to ask anybody in the building, I can tell you right now, categorically, Leanne would be the first to say, these are the ink pads that you need to start with. Because of the dual factor that you get with these, the duo, it's not a duo of ink, it's not like a duo of two different colours in there. It's a difference between, it's like a water-based ink pad that behaves like a chalky finish, is what it looks like. And with the oxidisation, the water technique that you get with this is different to what you get with water reactive because of that lovely pigment that's in there as well. So they're absolutely incredible ink pads. And Leanne would tell you, if anybody was to ask her which ink pad you would start with, she would tell you to go with these because, and this is just my little swatch, I don't know if you caught the launch with Leanne, but Leanne showed you a plethora of different things that you can do with these ink pads, which is why I know she loves them. I absolutely love mine. When I did Chesterfield at the beginning of July, the free make and take session that I did throughout the day with all those people that came to see me, over 60 odd people altogether throughout the classes throughout the day, we did some techniques with these because they are so versatile and they're incredible colours. And this is the kind of look. So I'm going to try. Now, this did start life as just a two-tone wash. And I say a two-tone wash, a two-tone combination of colours on a gessoed finished background. So I'd already painted it with some white gesso to get a lovely movement with the ink, but I've dropped some water on it since. So it was a nice smooth blend. But as you can see, running along the top, because they do react with water, let me tell you, you could, I inked this up like 2-3 months ago. If you put a drop water on there right now, Craig, it will still react with it.
Really?
So honestly, absolutely. Now, these are the different kind of techniques, because that's the faux bleaching. Now, if I just bring back in for a second, can you see the difference?
Well, look at the difference.
So the difference is because you've got the dual technique of the pigment with the water-based ink in there, the water-reactive ink, that's the effect that you get. It's white. It looks like I've splashed it with white paint.
It does, doesn't it?
I can categorically tell you right now, I did not. I just did that two-tone blend, same colours, but drop water onto it and look at the lift. No undertone of those colours underneath because it's white. It's that, the longer you leave it as well, the whiter, the whiter you get. So honestly, absolutely fabulous. This is a technique we're going to do in a second because this one is spritzing through a stencil. So it's a swooshing technique. Lots of ink onto your glass mat. Pick up those colours and then use a stencil and splash some water through it and look at the effect. Looks stunning. These are just my own personal ones that I did. Do you know what that one is? It is baby wipes.
Is it?
It's honestly, it's picking ink up with a baby wipe and splatting it all over. It looks like a rag rolling technique. Lots of different colours. Now, the trick with these and the beautifulness with these is, if I was to do this effect with water reactive, it'll go a bit muddy after a while. If I start putting colour on top of colour on top of colour, it'll go like that horrible mucky looking colour.
Yeah, yeah.
With the Duet ink pad, you don't get that. But there is a little trick to it because you do need to dry in between each stage. That's a colour wash. That was just literally popping a little bit of ink onto my glass mat, picking it up with a water brush and colouring it.
Honestly, it's like you've gone with white gesso or paint, isn't it? And gone straight over.
And that has got nothing on it other than it is watercolour cardstock, picked up with the water paintbrush and coloured over the top. Look at that. Looks like I've had a right old splattery mess with that, isn't it? That's just a craft matte smoosh effect. And it literally is inking onto your mats or your glass mats, spritzing it with water, picking it up from mat and drying it in between. And then doing the splashing, four splashing under it. I mean, I love things like, Craig, I am in my element when I'm doing things like this. I'm actually thinking of my next Facebook Live doing lots of inky techniques.
Oh, everyone would love that.
I genuinely love doing things like this. Bubble wrap. Pick up with bubble wrap and just drop it onto your cardstock. Look at the technique. Look how gorgeous
Brilliant,
that
isn't
looks.
it?
Absolutely, it's so effective. Look at that. Now this shows off. This shows off how fabulous you can layer colour upon colour upon colour. Because I've done two blues, but look at the intensity of the blue over the light blue. Normally you wouldn't be able to get that, but you can with the Duet ink pads, which is why I know Leanne absolutely loves them. The work that went into these is incredible because that literally is just an inked background with the water brush technique and then the stencil over the top and colour through it and then do that splash again because I do love that splash.
Incredible.
I think it just looks really good. And then of course, let's not forget, you can stamp with them. That is a stamp too. You recognise the butterflies? It's one of our butterfly stamps. I just stamped that directly ink over the top of the stamp and stamped, and look at the crisp colour, the beautiful colour that you get with these. This is just some of the techniques that you can do with them, Craig. They are incredible.
That's epic.
And they also don't dry instantly, so they have that little bit of a... let me just tell you what you just said then, Johnny. Incredible. Absolutely they are.
They are, aren't they?
They don't dry instantly, so you can add clear embossing powder to them while they stay wet. And you can get like a little bit of a little finish on there with your enamelled finish when you dry them with your heat tools. So I've got 4 colours. Can't wait to get started on these, let me tell you. I've chosen Spring Buds, Waterfall, Sweet Clementine, and Raspberry Ripple. Love these. Do you know, I absolutely love... In fact, I think you can tell how much I love them because they're absolutely filthy, my ink pads. Because these are mine, Johnny. I love them. I can't tell you how much I love them. Yeah, well loved. I'm right into green at minute. I've never been, so all my dresses, the last 5 dresses I've bought have been green.
Right.
I have never been a green person.
Never.
I've got green eyes. I don't know why I don't, because it enhances the eye colour apparently.
Yeah.
But I've never really been into green. It's been a colour I've avoided, but I've found this newfound love affair with green ever late. So yes, it's well loved. As you can see, it's very well loved. These are juicy ink pads though. There is a lot in there, and you can almost see that like that kind of chalky kind of finish that you get with the ink. So, but what we're going to do is we're just going to lay down some colour onto the mat. So I'm going to start with the orange, and juicy beyond juicy. Let me just tell you, love the new shape of our ink pads as well. I'm not going to lie. So I'm just going to literally splatter a little bit onto there. I am going to just move those out of the way because I am now going to spritz it. So I'm going to spritz it with my water mister. Okay. Is it a water mister? A water spritz?
Yeah, water mister, spritzer, yeah.
Just spritz it, a little bit of water. And I am choosing multi-purpose cardstock this time, which I know you think, well, that's a bit bizarre, Debbie, because you talk about watercolour cardstock.
Exactly.
We'll talk about, but honestly, you can achieve these on any kind of looks and just pick up the ink. That's all I'm wanting to achieve, is to pick up that ink that you can see. And then, like I said to you, the difference that you would use and why you want to use these, Craig, is because, and I'll just wipe up that excess, you're going to dry these in between each stages. Now, we've talked about the heat tool already. You need a heat tool. You want to dry off every single time you add a new colour. That's the trick, that's the secret to getting these lovely finished looks. And I genuinely mean it, it takes a couple of minutes. You will still get this look if you achieve it onto watercolour cardstock as well. I'm just using multi-purpose because you can.
Okay.
I don't want you thinking that you can't, because you absolutely can. So that's your heat tool. Now that bit's dry, so I'm going to come in with the next colour. So let's come in with a bit of pink.
Just to quickly say, if you want your heat tool, got it at the bottom of the screen there, $22.99 or $27.95. There is another bundle where you can get the heat tool and the stamp and foam. That's $29.98 or $36.90. That's not even including your Club Inspire. Go into the website, check it out. Your Club Inspire will come up.
Right, so this now is my pink. It's been spritzed with water. So I'm going to try and pick it up in the areas that I haven't picked up. But you can absolutely go, oh, that's quite funky. You can go over the top quite easily. So again, you'll achieve some really beautiful looks. And honestly, and you know, on a craft mat, you get a different look, because on a glass mat, with it being a glass, it kind of pools the surface. Right. On a craft mat, it bubbles because of the texture of the craft mat. So you get a different look altogether. Honestly, you need to play. I always say this with ink pads. We call it like a water reactive and we say it does one thing. We talk about quick dry, just does one thing. Oh, many ink pads just does, but they do so much. More. Every single one. And it's all about having a play with them, and don't be afraid to try different techniques. If you catch that show, that lone show with Leanne, it blew me away, Craig. It blew me away.
I remember, yeah.
Because I can't tell you how much I love these. I think I am going to say I'm tend to agree with Leanne in terms of how much you can get from these and how incredible they actually are. So you can see straight away 2 colours on there. Let's add another one in the mix. Let's do the green.
Oh, nice.
It's just delicious. Honestly, it's just delicious. Spritz it again with some water. And let's go back in and pick up
so you're
some of the green.
drying in between each layer.
Yeah, dry. It's the secret to getting that lovely finish in between each one. And again, you can see Well, I am literally, we call it the craft mat smoosh. Nearly got the words wrong all there, but it really is a very simple, easy to achieve look. And again, we're going to dry that off in between each stage. And that's why you need a craft tool, heat tool, Craig. You've got to have one in your life. It speeds up the process. You could, of course, leave this to dry naturally. However, we haven't got time. We're trying to get as much as we can into this show. Right. And like I said, I could play forever and a day with inks.
Yeah, you could, couldn't you?
I genuinely, one of my favourite types of craft. If ever I'm bored and I don't know what to do and I go in my craft room, I just literally, I cannot tell you how many inky backgrounds I've got. Because I'm forever doing it. I love making them. Look at that waterfall. Look how glorious that colour is. It's absolutely, they're all stunning. And I can see why Leanne loves them so much because they are absolutely stunning colours. And look how beautiful that lays up on top. And it's not losing the intensity of the colour either. It's just, I mean, how long have we got that I could talk about?
You could keep going and going, couldn't you?
They are just delightful, and anybody who's who's probably already got them when we launched them probably would agree with me in terms of look how each one of those colours, no matter where I've laid the green to the blue to the orange, the pink, nothing's lost its shade, nothing's lost its intensity of colour. That's the beautiful thing with these. And also that lovely chalky like finish that you get because of the Duet ink pad nature. React with water, but give you that lovely chalky like finish.
That's
and
so
honestly,
cool.
They're absolutely stunning. I love them. I absolutely adore them. I could talk about them for hours on end. I really could.
Yeah, you can hear the love and the passion you've got for them.
But look at that. I mean, that for an inky background to start with is beautiful. You would pay good money to get an inky background like that in a form of a sheet. You could be doing A4 sheets and doing this. However, we're not finished. Nice and dried. And I'm going to come in now with my, and these were launched at the same time with these ink pads. There are stencil sets, the trios, and I absolutely, again, I've got another favourite. I shouldn't have, but I do. I absolutely love this Dotty one. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to lay it down over the top, and I'm going to bring my spritzer back in. Now for this, I'm going to keep the stencil where it is. So just spritz through the stencil. And the more water, actually, Craig, that you put down, the better the result.
Right,
I'm not going to lie. Leave it just for a couple of seconds. Grab your tissue. I'll use this one because I've still got some longevity left out of it. But leave the stencil where it is because we want to create that lovely dimension through the stencil. And I don't know if you can see it, but as we're talking, it's starting to go and lift the colour. You can lift it and do that a little bit more by going in and dabbing away the ink, and it creates a really funky texture, and I can't tell you how much I enjoy this particular one.
Yeah, even through the circles you can see.
Honestly, and so when I lift that off, and now again I'm going to dry it, but you can see the bubbles, but there's still some wets from where it's seeped underneath, and I'm not bothered. I think it just adds to it, and I just love that effect. And that lovely oxidisation that you get with this is incredible. It really is. And look how fabulous that looks now. And I mean it genuinely. It just, I can never tire of it. And you could still go in and you could still add splashes across there if you wanted to with your water. And literally, it strips it back to the white rather than the colour. Now, when you've done them, and I'm just going to bring this in now because I said we were going to do some finished cards, and I have got a lot of inky backgrounds, Craig, so what I'm going to do is, I've done a little bit of matting and layering. This was one that I actually did from the Chesterfield when I was there, so this is another one that I did, and you can see, I left this quite a while when I was at Chesterfield. I left it over the top, went to go and see the others, came back to it, and oh my God, it looked absolutely incredible, so I'm using that. So yeah, absolutely, really enjoy these inks, really have a good play with them. This is just matte black cardstock with multi-purpose cardstock for a little matte and layer. I've cut another card down to 5x7, Craig. Pop that in as a little framing for your inky background. And then I'm going to come in and line that over the top as well.
That black just works an absolute treat with all of that work that you've put into the background.
Now I'm going to change it just slightly differently because normally I'd like to pop it in, but I'm going to go up to a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit of, what's the word? A little bit something different to what I would normally do because I've gone up and left this, a nice thick border. I could have gone in the centre, but I fancied changing it up. I'm always like that. I always like to have a little play around. I've cut myself some little strips as well, so using the waist when I cut this down to size. So I'm going to have a little play with these as well, Craig. So let me come in. Tape pen. I'll use my tape pen for this one because it's just a small strip. So let's get the tape pen onto it.
So what a great way to make a card and decorate a card with the background you've just created.
Yep, and I'm going to take it over again. I'm just playing around with me, my background here. I'm not normally, I'm very much, I'm a bit like you, Craig. I do like symmetrical. Although, to be fair, I do like to play around as well. So I'm taking it up to the very edge of the card. If I've gone a little bit over, I can trim that down. That's not a problem. But I just want to have a little play with these. And I'm gonna play around with them. So I'm going to pop that on, and I'm definitely going to trim this one down. But it's just adding a little bit of...
It's adding interest for the eyes as well, isn't it?
Yes, throws your eyes somewhere else, doesn't it? It really does. So let's come in. Line that up. In fact, let me just pop that on there and use my glass mat as a little, there we go, just to straighten that up, and grab my scissors and just trim off that excess. You'll be pleased to know I haven't used the with love in this one.
Oh, have you not?
No. Do you know, I love those. I've talked about these mini expressions time and time and time again, and I am going to have a little play with this now. So let me just pop that down. I'm going to pop on the happy birthday because sometimes, Craig, we overthink cards.
We do.
Let's have a think.
I know I do sometimes.
Let me have a little play.
I like what Heather Springer's just said on YouTube. It adds visual interest.
That's a good
word. Doesn't it?
It absolutely
just like our
does.
bread, it brings visual interest to all of us here.
Absolutely. And then I'm just going to add a few little dewdrops onto this to add a little bit more of an interest. Again, just have a little play. You don't have to overthink things. You've got some incredible things in your crafty stash to create this kind of thing, Craig.
Yeah.
So just play with them. Play with the inks, and just get your sentiments. You don't need to overthink it. Have a play. That's my biggest bit of advice.
Love that bit of advice.
And there
I love
you go.
what you've
and I'm
created.
not going to do anything else to it because I think from my technique that I've just shown you. So this was the technique. That was the technique. Chop it down, pop it onto some black cardstock, have a play around with your layering, how you compose your cards, and you can create some really beautiful cards using your inks. So absolutely love the Duet ink pad.
Wow.
You've already seen some ways that you can do this. Go back to that launch show. It lives there on Crafters TV or YouTube. Go back and watch that launch show with Leanne because she did some amazing techniques, which is where I got my inspiration from. I'm not going to lie. The woman's incredible. I love her to bits. She's so talented. And these ink pads are the best in the business. They really are.
And I would go out there and say, as well as going back and watching that, add it to the playlist, but add this show to your playlist on YouTube so you can go back and watch Debbie again and again and again, recreating what she's just done there. And also earlier on, 2 incredible cards using, okay, different ink pads, but an ink pad as the background as well as the detail. Right, let's have a very quick look at this bundle here. And then we're going to give you a little opportunity to check out your basket. So this is the Duet ink pad 10-piece bundle selection, £56 or $84. You've got the Midnight Mist, the Awakening Forest. You've got the Spring Bud. This is one that Debbie used. You've then got the Sunrise Glow. You've then got your Rosy Apple. And you've got the Vintage Merlot. Now, not only that is you've got Sweet Clementine. Do, do, do. You're then going to get the Raspberry Ripple, the Soft Heather. You're going to be getting the Waterfall and the Sailor's Wake as well. This is all 10 that you're going to be getting, and you can do what Debbie's just done as well as so many ideas that you'll have seen from that kind of little swash sheets that you had at the start there. £56 or $84. You've got that platinum price of £44.80 or $67.20. That there for you guys across Central Europe. You just need to go to either .co.uk, .com or .eu. That's where you need to go. You've got them on that shop, the today, but you'll just find lots of other ideas there across on our website. But we're going to be back in a couple of minutes after you take a look at this when it comes to Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get social with us. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, on your TV or tablet, you can get so close to the action, it's like you're in the studio with us. You can ask questions about products or crafty techniques. Get hints and tips from our expert demonstrators. Plus, share pictures of your crafty makes with our amazing community. Crafters TV, getting you closer to the crafty action.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the products.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part. And it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
A massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously, the people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Tricia is in. Tricia loves saying, good morning, my crafty friends from Atlanta. Beth Valone is saying, I find CC paper pads are next level with their designs and quality. We're going to agree, and we're not going to agree just because we work here. We agree because they really, really are. You know, we've been around so many paper pads over the years, and I know all of us on the team would agree with you. We've got Sandra and Das on YouTube is saying, I got 2 of the watercolour Christmas pads, absolutely delightful. We've got Len Bledsoe is saying, I love my Duet ink pads. They are just so nice when it comes to the colours. Mary Beth Doyle saying, Debbie, we definitely need a Facebook Live with the Duet backgrounds. Pammy on YouTube is saying, the green is my favourite right now. Alison Lee saying, totally agree. Yes, please, Debbie. Facebook Live with the Duet ink pads would be brilliant. Then when it comes to what Debbie just done there, Christine Mahoney saying, I love, 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 love this demonstration, Debbie. Jamie saying, very nice, Debbie. Heather Springer saying, adds visual interest, as I was saying before. Then we have got Rosalind saying, Debbie, that gives your card an extra kind of like Art Deco design.
Oh,
I could see that one. Yeah, I could see that. Our Susie loved what Debbie was doing there. A couple of questions coming in. I'll fire them at Debbie just shortly. But one of them was from YOU Expressions, who's also saying, absolutely love that, Debbie. Playing can be so much fun. You're so artistic. Pammy is saying, gorgeous card, Debbie. Heather saying, I really love that card design, Debbie. Linda saying, that looks great. Stephanie Theodore is saying, love the card, Debbie. And Anne-Marie saying, Debbie's nails matches her card. I noticed that as well. I noticed that too. Right, colour me happy. So it's all about colour, of course, different forms of colouring. What we've got now is our tri-colour aqua pens here. So this is our tri-colour. So it does say we have marker pens on the screen. So these are your water-based pens, marker pens. These ones being a three-piece selection with 9 pens in total. Now within each pen you're going to get a variety of colours. So within each pen you're getting 3 colours. 3 colours that will complement each other. However, in saying that, it's 3 colours that you're then going to be able to blend and shade and make your own. Now, when it comes to your tri-colour aquas, you're going to get your essentials. So you've got your earthy tones, you've then got your rich naturals, and then your grey naturals as well. So this is how these look on your watercolour card, but of course they're water-based, so blend them together, create your own shades, create your own colours, create your own depth when it comes to these ones here. So when it comes to your essential neutrals, what we've then got is we've then got our floral, so our aqua meadow. So that one being floral meadow, you've got your bright florals, warm fiery, and you've got our fresh verdant. We've then got our great outdoors. So we've got the botanical nature, we've got our cool marines, and then we've got our rich florals. So these are giving you 3 pen sets. It's 9 pens, but within each ones, we've then got our 3 colours within each of the pens. $19.98 or $29.39. Within that one there, it's platinum price of $15.98 or $23.51. You will find these across on the website to grab should you wish to go for them. Just thought we would give you a little look at these ones there, being the water-based pens. So if you have a look at them on the website, shop the day, water-based, lots of ways in which you can use them. You can of course go in, you can then colour in your images, you can do all your different backgrounds as well, but just thought we would just sneak them in there just to show you that they are there for you to have a look at should you wish. $19.98 or $29.39. You've got a saving in $9.99 or $15.46. Essentially it's working out that you're buying 2 sets and you're getting 1 for free. But if you are platinum, that comes down to $15.98 or $23.51. Spectrum Noir Aqua Marker Brush. What we've then got is our Weekday Wonder. Now, when it comes to our Weekday Wonder, this is now what's running Monday to Friday. So it's going to run Monday to Friday or while stocks last before we go into a Weekend Wonder. Now, when it comes to the Weekday Wonder, you're going to get something that is absolutely exceptional value of the Weekday Wonder. Now, not only that, you're also going to get double points on every one of the Weekday Wonder each week. Now, we're going in with this week's Weekend Wonder or Weekday Wonder with the Academy of Colour. Now, not just any Academy of Colour, what we have got is our portraits. Now, when it comes to colouring, certainly for myself, one of the questions I've always got asked is, how do you do the portrait tones? I find it really difficult to get that facial tone, that skin tone, whether it's light, whether it's dark, whether it's mixed race. You just find it very, very difficult. This is absolutely going to be your saving grace. Now, within this, £28 or $38, you're saving £20.87 or $27.43. You've got a platinum price on this is $22.40 or $30.40. As I said before, you've got double points. Now, not only that, you've got the tools. This is what Academy of Colour is all about. It's the tools, but the education. So within the box, you're going to get a little card that says your Academy of Colour. There's a QR code on the back. Zap that with your phone, your smart tablet, anything like that. You don't have to have a QR code app. Simply open up your camera, hover, and then it's going to take you to that link. That's going to take you to Leanne. Full on tuition when it comes to the Academy of Colour portraits and with what you're getting included. Now, what you are going to be getting is your pens. Now, they are duo pens. So when it comes to the duo pens, you've got your black, which is alcohol base, and then you've got your blue, which is water base, aqua. So when it comes to your alcohols, this one here, so you've got your 2 shades. So you've got your deep brown, so you've got one shade, you've got a different shade, a darker shade or a light shade, depending what top you're looking at first. But so your duo two-tone. You're going to get your additional lighter brown tan into your yellows, creams, and then the peach tones. Alcohol base with your black barrels, and then when it comes to your blue barrels, these ones being is your water-based aqua pens. Once again, duo nibs that you've got, two colours that will complement. Now these are how the colours are going to look, so these ones being your portrait colours. So this is how they're going to be. Of course, you can blend with the two-tone ones, and Leanne will talk you through that when it comes to the portrait colours. So you can see here, you know, you've got 6 different skin tones that you'll be able to follow along with Leanne when it comes to the education. And then you've got additional tones when it comes to the aqua base down at the bottom. Now, when it comes to these ones, this is just some of the things that you're going to be able to follow along with Leanne. So yes, it's focusing on your portraits, the skin tones, but you're going to be able to cover your hair tones as well. So when it comes to these images, this is the stamps that you're going to get. So you're going to get the stamps, and you're going to get a couple of sentiments as well. Then when you're following Leanne and you're going to be doing the alcohol base colouring of the side of it, you're going to get your alcohol marker. Then what you're also going to get is your water-based cardstock as well. Please do consider, or at least have a look on the website and consider stocking up on things such as your Nina cardstock or your watercolour cardstock, so then that you know that when you've got your Academy of Colour at home, once you've used up what you already get there, then of course you can then just continue to work, continue to practice, and then you can go back the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year, for however long you want. Keep dipping in, use it as a refresher tool if you want to, but that class for your portrait is always going to be there, as Leanne said herself, that it will always be there for you to go back to. So it's a lovely class. It's really good for the kiddies as well, as Leanne would say, if they could hold a pen or a pencil and they've got that attention span to, of course, follow along. Great way to get them started. Also, anyone thinking about going into art school or college, then of course that's going to be a good thing for them. Credible saving of $20.87 or $27.48. You've got a platinum price of £22.40 or $30.40 with your double points. If you're not platinum and you're not even in Club Inspire yet, although it's free to join, you've still got it at that epic price of £28 or $38. So many of you yourself at home have said that it's been worth the cost of the Academy of Colour just for the education from Leanne alone. And then of course you can take what you've learnt from Leanne within the portraits, then start to then move that into all of your other portrait tones of your stamps that you've got at home. Tri-blends, classics, illustrators and aqua pens. Now you're going to be able to use that as well with what you've learned with your tri-colour aqua. So I gave you a little sneak peek of there a minute ago, bit of a sneak peek actually, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to have a look at them, because you have been enjoying these on the website, so let's do that. As you've been loving them, we're going to look at them again. So these ones here being, of course, these ones is your essential neutrals. So you've got your essential neutrals, you can see the colours that you're going to be getting. It is 3 packs. So in each pack you're getting 3 pens, but it's going to be, of course, 9 pens in total. You've got lovely tones, lovely outdoor tones that you can see here. Water-based that you can start to blend together, you can start to create different shades. $19.99 or $29.39. Essentially it's working out as you're buying 2 and you're getting 1 for free. Platinum price of $15.98 or $23.51. They're also on Shop the Day for you to check out. But we want to see what we can do with them, Debbie. Ooh. Sorry.
That's smooth.
Caught you.
I was looking for a big brush.
A big brush.
Because I know we've got some big brushes on the show, the Royal and Langnickel brushes.
Yeah.
I do believe they're on the show, so it's not often we have them in, so get hold of them while you can, because I love the Royal and Langnickel brush. And there's so much you can do with the Tricolour Aquas. It's a water-based medium, which means it's going to react with water. It also means you might have only got your 3 colours in the pen, and I say might, but you've got now a little bit more, because you not only can so these are nice complementary colours that work together beautifully, but you've got a colour palette there what you can extend, because you can mix colours as well. But I want to show you just how I've said this again before, in terms of a colouring medium to start with. Anything that's water-based is a bit more forgiving.
Okay.
Alcohol colouring is a permanent thing. It's down, you can't move it. You could get some dimension and shade with it, and I love alcohol colouring, but something a bit more forgiving and a little bit more easier to use in terms of if you've never picked up one before are these. And not only that, watercolour We're not talking watercolour with your paints. What we're talking is like the watercolour effects that you get in a pen. And that's exactly what these are.
Okay.
So they're absolutely fabulous for that reason. I've got to some watercolour cardstock. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do with this. Now, I always have, as always, a little bit of tissue. I've got my pot, my Michelle pot I keep calling it, and a brush. I've got a few brushes in there. I've got some thin ones and I've got a thicker one. I actually wanted one just that tad bit thicker, but it looks like we're all out of brushes in the studio. Well, the two that are here, I'm not going to put on because I don't think they've been cleaned in a month of Sundays.
No.
Let's have a little, ooh, might be able to get away with that one. Yeah, I think we'll get away with that one. So what you can do is you can go directly onto your cardstock. If you're going to go directly onto your cardstock, you need a damp brush, not a wet one, a damp one to be able to move the colour. And so I always get that prepped and ready. So when I say damp, I don't mean where it's dripping off into your hand. I mean just a little dab. I think that's clean. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's nice and clean. So I'm dabbing off the excess. So it's not absolutely caked in water, but what you've got then is the ability to go straight onto your cardstock and manoeuvre and create that watercolour effect with your pen. And to get that from a pen, I think is absolutely incredible. And look, that's still going. All that ink is still going all the way down to the bottom. Now, it does mean as well that you can also use not just water, but you might already own a crystal clear overlay pen. And that's the crystal, it means it's clear. There's nothing in there other than water and glitter. And that ultrafine glitter. Always give it a little shake, but we've often said this, and I know you have, Craig, as well. It is a paintbrush. And it's a paintbrush that you're going to be able to create with. So if I go in, and there's no priming with this, because apart from shaking it up and having maybe a little bit down onto there, you can then go back on with your pen and you can manoeuvre again.
Oh, yeah.
And transition that colour down and water that colour down. But what you've got this time is an added bit of sparkle because this is your clear overlay. It acts as a water brush. Craig's talked about it many times, so have I. But you can then, of course, get rid of the colour by just dragging out that colour, and it's good to go and it's back to normal. It's clean, nice water brush again. So that's another way that you can use it. And once that's dry, you do have a little bit of that, you know, that super fine glitter shimmer in there with the use of your sparkle pen, your clear overlay sparkle pen. And I always do love that one. I think it looks absolutely fabulous. Again, because it's water-based, it does mean that you can do lots of techniques. Now, I'll go in with a thin brush for this and just drop down some clear water over the top of my little background, my colour wash. We'll come down with that. And then, again, wait for that just to lift just a couple of minutes. Get your tissue, and we'll just use the tissue that we've just used. And then come down and lift. And you get that lovely faux bleaching with that as well. Now, I know Craig will often tell you this, and I know you don't mind me saying this, Craig, but you like to scribble onto your glass mat and use it as a palette to pick up and colour with, which we'll do in a second. But what we also want to talk about is the different colour combinations. You've got different colours in here that will create two other colours. So we've got a red and we've got a blue. And if I remember my colour wheel, well, I'm hoping I'm remembering this. So a bit of blue, bit of red. Pick up a little brush. Let's get a little brush again. Now, of course, I could go directly on. In fact, let me grab another piece just for a second. Directly on to your watercolour cardstock and paint with it. And I am only using a very small brush here. And then I'm just dry that brush off, get rid of the red.
But even that coverage for that little brush as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I always say about your water brushes, have your different sizes. And I do believe today we've got some different sizes on there. So that's your red, that's your blue. And then bring in the red into the blue. And you can create a different colour as well. So you get that almost like a purpley mauvey colour. Should we call it mauve?
Mauve, yeah.
Absolutely, and that's from two colours. So you've got now, and again, you could still water this, and it's still, you know, you can still take it and add more into it. You can shabby chic colours, because you can add in a darker colour, and you can add a shabby chic colour to that as well. And if you want to add a bit more, you can always go back in. Never, ever, 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 ever take this into the water.
No.
Do not take that.
Never, ever, ever.
That. Never, ever, ever. Just pop your colour back down, because you can always add more to it. So you could take that red now and go back in and add some more to it. and you can see you changing up colour, and let that dry naturally as well, or with your heat tool, and you can see that pink under it. It's almost like a shabby chic pink now. So there's lots of things that you can do with these pens, and of course you can paint with them as well, Craig. And you can also do a bit similar to what I did with the, ooh, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's come in.
We should go in with this.
Bit down. Love that colour as well. You can see I'm playing now, can't you? I love this. And I love that squeak. I don't know, does anybody else like that squeaky sound? Love the squeaky sound. Should I add a bit of green?
James does anyway.
Yeah, let's add it. Wait a minute, I've lost the top. There it is. Get the right tops on. Spritzer. So you've just seen me do it with the Duets. Let's spritz a little bit onto there. And then come on in and add, let's go in and just swish that around. And pick up.
Oh, nice.
Playtime. Playtime, absolutely, playtime. Oh, yeah, come on. Let's add some more colour into there. Now, if you want to do it separately, you absolutely can. I'm just speeding this process up a little bit because Debbie had demoed something else because Debbie can't read right on the pole.
However, so Craig had a look and he can understand where the mix-up came.
Craig. Thank you, because I saw tricolour.
Yes,
and
you
what
did.
did you think when you saw tricolour?
Well, like you, I just look at the title, so I would have thought that was our tricolour alcohol pens. But then if you look further down our list that we get, which, to be fair, I wouldn't really do either unless I want a detailed product, it's actually the tricolour aqua pens. So I would have done what Debbie's done and just thought it was the Burgundy Barrel alcohol pens.
I'm going to own up. I got confused. I saw the title. I didn't turn it over, which that's my own bad. And I prepped something with the tricolour pens. However, it'll save for another day.
It will indeed.
The thing is about this is, it just shows you how easy it is to change tack and change things up. And look at that lovely background that we've just achieved with this. We could then stamp over it, because I want you to remember that you can stamp over these as well. Is Leanne's butterfly in here? Let me have a little peek. If a butterfly. She has a butterfly, don't she, that she stamps
that's true,
with?
yeah.
Yeah, and you could stamp over the top of that as well and add that, because you can colour with the beautiful thing about these is that you've got so many different techniques. If you've ever watched Shimmer, oh my God, the woman is a goddess when it comes to ink and what you can do with them, because you can colour with them as well. So I've got a lovely little bit of an inky background. Again, I could do that splashing technique. I could still lift it in areas if I wanted to. Chop into it, that could be a nice little background as well that you could then maybe chop some flowers up into or some butterflies up into. It doesn't take much effort to do that. And in terms of painting, Craig, now I wonder if I've got my size. I did have one cut to size, but I think I might have used it. I did. I used it. However, let's not worry. Let's just go in there. I'm using one of my, actually, cut and emboss folder.
Yeah.
But I will just tell you my little trick for a cut and emboss folder. It's 2D, which normally would be just your two cutting plates. My little extra top tip is pop your metal shim in there. And if you pop your metal shim in, it gives you a little bit more. Oops, Debbie forgot to drop the drawer at the back. Silly old me. Do you know, I keep forgetting. There's two wings.
Yeah?
Wings. Two wings. I forgot to drop the one at the back. Dear me, seriously, Craig. The dimension that you get on that by adding that metal shim into it means then I could still come in. Now, you'll often hear Sarah talk about these as a colouring medium as well. Just colour straight over the top. Boys, Charlie and Oliver, she gives them aquas to colour with, because you can go directly over the top and enhance those as well. Now, I am literally just playing now, Craig. But of course, pop a little bit down. You've got some gorgeous colours in here. Lots of beautiful colours in here that you could then add to. Let's pick up a little damp brush again. Let's pick up this lovely burgundy colour and add that over the top. If you're going to do this, I would probably take your pen, your brush, and go over the top and lift the colour a little bit more. However, you can absolutely go directly into there and start to paint with them, or you can take them directly in. And again, that's wet. Do not take the pen into there. But I'll just show you the two so that you can see that such an intense colour. and you could colour with them as well. So you can take your pens, let's come in, add a little bit of, oh, that's too dark for me, that one, let's have that green. And add detail. So I've created a background, and then I'm coming in now and doing a spot of colouring in between over the top.
What a great way to combine the uses out of them.
And again, Craig, even though I've just like popped that down, I can still take my brush and give that a little wiggle, and you can start to move that as well. So it still reacts with that water, whichever water medium it is that you're going to go with. But let's continue to do just a little bit more, because I've got another couple of demos lined up.
Perfect.
But again, just play with them. Play, enjoy, create.
Wendy on YouTube, she loves her aqua markers and to use the overlay pen as well. We've got Jane Adams on Facebook saying, I love playing just like this. Heather Springer on YouTube saying, great tip, Debbie, for the watercolour paper as well. Chrissy Mahoney is saying, oh, Debbie, I love all your demonstrations today.
Thank you.
Haven't they? Always are, but it's just nice seeing the takes when it comes to all these different colours.
Well, yeah, because this was not the original demo. It happens to us all. It happens to us all, Craig.
Indeed.
But you can start to see, and that's just a fraction that I'm going down. And then you've got loads of, I mean, who says you've got to stick to one colour?
Exactly.
Why not have a plethora of coloured flowers? Let's go in with some. Why not colour with them? Yes, we talk about them as a water-based medium, but why not go in and do this as well and add that colour to them? We've got a purple one. Let's go in with a purple one. Oh, I'm adding a right bunch of flowers here, aren't I?
This is looking really, really pretty.
So
Really
again,
pretty colours.
just have a play. And let me just remember what's in that corner. Oh, it's a little bud, isn't it, that one? Yes, so let's go in with the cools. Let's go
And
in
although
there.
you said, of course, you know, you don't need to, you know, get bogged down with lots of different colours, which is true, but then when it comes to your aqua pens, you've got then the ability to create your own colours.
Yeah,
And extend them.
and you've created a background, then you're adding colour onto the top of it. So you absolutely can do that. Now, that's as far as I'm going to go with it, because I've seen the time, and I have got 2 more other demos that I'd like to try and squeeze in. But if you've never tried our tri-colours, try them. Try the aqua tri-colours, not the other ones that Debbie thought they were. But honestly, you will never regret your decision to buy those. Just because the price for one, oh my God, you're insane. The price for, and I say one, it's not one, it's the nine pens, but is it, so the three colours, wait a minute, 3 piece, so it's 3 threes. And then it's times the 3 threes, because there's 3 in each one.
Yep.
So that's 9, 18, 27 colours. 27 colours for that price.
Yep.
Flabber is gasted. Literally, you will never regret the decision because of just so many different ways that you can use these pens. They are absolutely fabulous. They're so versatile and a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
You can see that from what Debbie's just done there as well. She said spur of the moment there with the ideas that she was giving you. Let's have a very, very quick look at these ones again. The boards really do showcase all 3 sets that you're going to get. Your tricolour aqua markers here. The essential neutrals, where you're going to get the earthy, you're going to get the rich, and you're going to get the greys as well. So that is your 3 pens, 9 colours, how you can start to blend them and many more together. You're then also going to get your floral meadow, so you're going to get the bright floral, you're going to get the warm fiery, and also the fresh verdant. So here's your 3 pens, 9 colours, but of course you can make many more than that. And then we're going to the great outdoors, where we've got our botanic, we've got our cool, and we've got our rich florals as well. All of them are coming your way. Essentially, it's kind of working out as you're buying 2 and you're getting one for free from Spectrum Noir. $19.98 or $29.39 for you guys that are not in Club Inspire and that paying that today's price, which is exceptional as it is. But if you are in Club Inspire and you're platinum, it comes down to $15.98 or $23.51. Another item, as well as many more that are on Shop the Day for you to check out. We're going to take a little bit of a break. When we come back, we'll answer a couple of those questions that have come through, but we'll be back just in a moment.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comforts of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafter's Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze. Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get social with us. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, on your TV or tablet, you can get so close to the action, it's like you're in the studio with us. You can ask questions about products or crafty techniques. Get hints and tips from our expert demonstrators. Plus, share pictures of your crafty makes with our amazing community. Crafters TV, getting you closer to the crafty action.
There once was a man who was very crafty. His name was Craig from Carnoustie. He joined the team on Crafters TV. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. He wanted to prove he was the man, but he lost at craft was to Leanne. But 2 weeks later he beat Jan. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. He did so well on Crafters TV, Sarah sent him off to Germany, where he did some work for QVC. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. His crafting skills, they aren't half bad. In fact, I'd say they're totally rad. That's mainly down to his favourite foam pads. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. The crafters, they loved him a lottie for his charm and skill. They went quite potty, they nicknamed him the Hardy Scotty. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. In the crafting world, he's standing tall. He's the best Scottish crafter of them all. Catch him Monday to Friday on his wake-up call. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live.
Just took a drink just before we went live there. Wrong move, wrong move. I know some of you have maybe not seen that song before, that Ben done for me a couple of years ago. Always fun, very, very catchy as well. You're going to be singing that for a wee while. Debbie, a couple of questions.
Yes.
We've got Debbie Carter on Facebook is from Basingstoke saying, can you tell me what gesso is, please? I've heard it a couple of times in my crafty journey, but I don't know what it is. Thanks.
Oh, so it's like a dull matte paint. It's got like a chalky kind of dry matte
isn't it? Yeah.
kind of finish to it. And you can get it in black and you can get it in white. This is my black one because I've had in between takes I've been painting something and trying very hard not to get it all over me because this is Debbie's own. We do it in black and white. I don't know if it's on the website, just check it out, and it's called Pebeo Gesso or Gesso. There's lots of different sayings for it, but there's black or white. And it gives you like a foundation base. So for things like MDF, when you want to add some colour to it, you absolutely can do because it creates that lovely matte finish. So that's what gesso is. And you will find lots of people use it in mixed media. Yeah. Like Jan uses it for canvases. Jan once made a canvas for a Chesterfield store that was, oh my God, the most beautiful piece of work I've ever seen in my life. By literally just sticking things onto this canvas and then covering it with gesso and then adding inks and sprays and oh my God, it was just absolutely sensational. So you'll find a lot of people use it in mixed media. and then to coat things as well. So that's why I use it. I've used it for a particular MDF box, just to give me a base to be able to start with to create something over the top of it. So it's a gesso that you can find, black and white. We're not the only company. It's not something we've invented.
No.
That's just a brand that we use, which is Pebbio. Again, the lovely Shimmer. That's where I first started using it, through Shimmer. So yes, Pebbio is a brand that we sell here, but there are lots of other companies out there that sell their own version of gesso.
Absolutely, yeah. So if you go back to not Wednesday last week, the week before when Sheena was last in, she uses it to also coat her cardstock and then blend on top of as well. Fascinating effect. Why All You Expressions by Candy saying, why does the heat gun have 2 settings on it, Debbie?
Easy. Oh, just that. I will going off that way again. It's just because, and it's not so much the heat setting. It's because let's not mix this up. It's not a heat setting, it's a speed setting. So there may be a time that you don't want to dry it off really fast, or you just want to apply a small amount, so it's like a slower speed. So it's nothing to do with heat, it's about the speed.
Got ya.
Slow speed, fast speed, your choice.
Last one for now, and I think I know what Debbie's answer is going to be. So it's Nadia, so I'll quickly read through this one. She's saying, sorry I'm late, I'll watch back after the show. Crafty friends, I'm quite new to stamping, trying to figure out how to get started. I have only a finesse ink pad. I want to heat emboss, blend, etc. to create Christmas cards for family soldiers and folk at the hospital. What would you suggest as far as an ink pad for Christmas?
And you meaning for an ink pad to a heat emboss with, Craig?
I think, yeah, heat emboss and to blend with.
So,
I know, I see, this is where, I mean, I know what Debbie's about to say.
I was just going to say Duet, because you can get that with Duet. But do you know what else you can do it with? Our opaque pigment ink pads as well.
Oh, true.
Because you can heat emboss, clear embossing powder over the top, and lots of colours, so you're not having to try and find a colour that matches. So say you've done a stamped image and you've done a bit of blending, and then you want to do the matching ink heat emboss technique. I will say pigment, opaque pigment. Our Debbie knows, she loves the pigment ink pads. They're her favourite go-to ink pad. So if you were asking me the advice, I would definitely go for those, because you can blend with them beautifully. They stay wetter for longer, and they stay a lot wetter than the Duet ink pads. So you've got a little bit more time to be able to get a nice seamless blend, and then add your your embossing powder. Make sure it's clear. You could use a bit of glitter into it as well to give it a glitter effect.
Nice.
But that's the one I would recommend.
Brilliant.
My personal opinion.
Thank you for that one, Debbie, thank you. Right, well, we're going to carry on when it comes to ink pads, and we're going to talk about our Shimmer ink pads here. Once again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it here so that we can go back to Debbie here, but when it comes to this one here, this is your pearlescent ink pads here. Now these are a pigment one, so they stay open longer. So if you did choose to use embossing powders, as Debbie touched upon a moment ago, although they've got the shimmer already in them. So when it comes to these, you're going to get the full set. Now these are giving you 10 of them, and the details will come up just in a moment, but you've actually got a saving of over 30%. Now when it comes to over 30%, you're going to be £38, or for you guys stateside, you're going to be $56.25 that are on Shop the Day for you, that you can then of course check out. So you can see the details on the screen right now. £38 or $68.75. That works out as a saving of over 30%. You're going to get the Starlit Sky, you're going to get the Tropic Blue, you're going to get the Sugar Plum, the Peach Rose, you're going to get the Toffee Apple, you're also going to get the Lime Soda, we're going to be getting the Frosty Mint, we're getting the Amethyst, we're also giving you the Raspberry, and we're also giving you the Queen Bee in a relatively new design shape when it comes to our ink pad. Holds nicely, ergonomically friendly when it comes to the hand, the way that you hold it. Larger area for you to get bigger coverage, but a nicer point within the fine detail. Platinum price £30.40 or $55 for you guys stateside. They're also on Shop the Day. But what sort of things can we do with these, Debbie?
We've what, sorry? Oh, is it the shimmer? Oh, I thought it was the shimmer sprays. I apologise, I said the shimmer spray. I'm thinking, I was telling you we're getting me. Oh, do you know today? It's unravelling. I was doing the shimmer sprays, Johnny. Don't worry, I've got my shimmer ink pads. Yeah,
are you
that's
sure?
fine.
Do you need a moment?
Just give me just a second.
Do you need a moment?
I'll come to these in a minute.
Okay, no problem, don't worry.
Wheels. cogs. They all turn in. They're all
Don't
falling
you
off.
worry. It wouldn't be a Debby show without Debby. So there's another 2 questions come through that I can answer, just to give Debby just a couple of moments to set up. Laurella's saying, Debby and Craig, I meant to ask this in Wake Up Call, on the concept-shaped card bases, could we use the Shimmer or the Duet? Easy, you could use both.
Yes.
You could use your water reactive as well if you wanted to. You know, you could use your pigment as well. You know, you could in some ways use your quick dry, but we usually say with quick dry about stamping because they're so quick, sentiments, etc, etc. Absolutely, the card bases, you can use any of the ink pads. And Sylva's saying, question for Craig, will the foil press shirt ever come out of retirement? No. No. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Never say never. It's still through in the green room, so it may come out one day. A lot of love, of course, for that song. A few of you as well that said that you've never seen it before, so it's lovely to see. What I would suggest, I know there was a couple of kind of comments throughout just saying about the using glycerin when it comes to certainly things such as your aqua pens and that. I would go on to past colour Me Happy shows on YouTube. I know, I think not last Tuesday when Jan was here, the Tuesday before when she was on with me, she used glycerin with some of our aqua pens as well. So it just enables you to do a little bit of blending.
You can do it with your water reactive as well.
And your water reactive,
You can add your little bit of glycerin into most ink pads. Let me rephrase that, because I don't want you going and adding glycerin to the ink pad. With the techniques, it moves it. Glycerin gives you that glide, it gives you that movement, and it gives you a really super smooth finish as well. A little, not a lot. A little, if you get a lot, you'll end up with a soggy mess on your cardstock. So literally, you can do that with your aqua colours to create a different technique. You can do it with your ink pads as well. Please just don't add glycerin to anything. You don't add it into the pen, you don't add it into the ink pad. You pop it onto your desk, you pick it up with your ink dauber, whichever ink dauber you're using, and then mix with your medium, and then you can smooth that on, and it gives a nice transition. But yeah, no, our Jan, she uses it well. Again, another technique I learnt from our lovely Sheena. I tell you, that lady has been an inspiration in my life for a very long time. Now, since I'm having to rejig, I'm just going to do a very quick technique because I want to show you, and actually we've got some clear embossing powder, so actually this might be a good one as well, because our Shimmer ink pads are exquisite. They literally add the most beautiful shimmering pearlescent pigment to any of your projects. I love these, and I know, Craig, you are a massive lover of them as well. Again, that, like you've said, the ergonomical shape. I'm just going to drop a bit down onto here to show you, because these are my own ones again. You can see how I love them a lot. And I'm going to just drop down a little bit. And I say a little bit because that's a lot, Debbie. But a little bit onto there. And then, I don't know if you... Can you see that shimmer?
You can.
It is absolutely... It's like having... And we talk about it a lot, but it's like literally a... Centura pearl in liquid form, and I say liquid form in an ink pad form. You've got this beautiful shimmer with it. Now it's still water reactive, so you can still do some little techniques with it as well. You can stamp with it. You can blend with them really beautifully. So let me just grab another piece of cardstock just for a second. I'm going to grab a finger dauber. Okay. And you can go on and again, in fact, let me bring in a smaller piece, Craig, just for a second. Let's. Oh my God, I think I've got every shaped piece of cardstock on here, but the one that I want. I'll just go straight on. You can stamp with them as well, and you can heat emboss. So let me just bring in some clear embossing. Now, there was clear embossing.
Oh, there it is. You found it?
I found it, Craig, I found it. I was just going to ask for a stamp, but we might have got some stamps on tonight. So let me just have a little delve under here.
Yeah, of course you can. You have a wee looky.
Do you know, where have we got some... have we got some stamps on tonight, guys?
You would have... got the character tags.
True, but I wanted to do a sentiment one.
Right.
Because, you know, we got asked the question just a few seconds ago, and I said about the pigment inks. You could do it with these. There never is anything to hand, is there, when you want it, Craig? Honestly, it doesn't matter. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to add some... This is crafting on the hoof. Literally. Let me come in and add a little bit of tape down. And then another bit of tape on the other side as well. And I'm just going to do a little tiny, and I say a tiny strip, I'm not going to add too much, but these ink pads are the most beautiful, beautiful ink pads. And I'm going to come in with 2 colours. So I've got this gorgeous purple, and it's called Amethyst. You can see how long the drying time in this, there's a lot of scope to be able to add things like your clear embossing powders over the top. However, I personally, I'm not going to lie, I love the finished look that the ink gives you when it's dry. It just looks absolutely exquisite. But to blend, Craig, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful to blend with. So you can, and that's, I think it's because of that open time that it doesn't dry instantly. Let's go back in and add a bit of purple just down here. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Now, before I take that tape off, I'm just going to cover those up. Now, I've got a fan on me, so I'm going to be really careful here, Craig. I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to add a little bit of the powder. I think I'm only going to add it to half of it. So let's just, oh my God. What's happened to
it's a bit chunky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very chunky. What the heck is thumpers going off there? But I'm going to do this deliberately on just half. So I've stopped about there. I'm going to move that, and I'm going to dry it while the tape's on. Actually, no, you're not, Debbie. You're going to lift it off. Let's take that off.
Oh, nice.
Looks lovely. I love doing, again, it's all about those backgrounds, isn't it? They just look absolutely incredible when you do this. Now, I've deliberately only just popped that onto half, but we're going to set this now. Now, this side is the natural. This side has got the ink to it. Now, let your temperature come up, and then it literally just turns it into a beautiful, especially if you're using stamps, sentiments. If I had a sentiment to hand, I would have used one, but don't worry. Not to worry. But again, it's just going to show you the difference between the two. And you can see where I've stopped it, actually.
You can.
You sort of stop there.
Yeah.
And then just dry off that, because again, no matter which way around you use these, if you want to add more, so do you know when we talk about doing, we call it like a double dip, do you know, like double dip it into?
Yeah.
You can absolutely do that, but you need to make sure this is still hot. You do not need to let that dry, because if it dries, of course, you're not going to be able to achieve that look. So if I just bring that cardstock back in and go back in again with the powder, and you can see it's still stuck to it. I'll just pop a little bit on that bottom bit. I might not have left that to dry as long. Let's just pop that into there. And then again, just heat set it. And I do like to do double embossing, triple embossing, because the first time you do it, it creates a orange peel effect.
Yeah, it does.
The second time you do it, it creates, it still looks a bit orange peel, but not as detailed. Now, if you go for a third time, you almost get like a crystallised effect as well. I'm going to leave that on just for a second, Craig, because I want to just heat that up. And then add.
Nice to see it work.
It makes it sticky.
Yeah.
And that's the lovely thing about this. So I'll be careful not to pop it into me. Careful not to pop that over the gun. So let me just pop that over there for a second, and then just again dry that, and it'll blow off the excess. What are you doing there, you little devil? Let's get rid of that bit.
Get it out.
And again, you can see
that really shows it. Yeah, look at that.
Just honestly. And the more you put down, the more glossier and glassier it gets to look, because it looks absolutely beautiful. And if I just show you there, can you see that now? But let's not take away, because this is why I prefer to leave it like that. This is what I love to do. I love to stamp with it. I love to you can blend with them as well, and you can blend the two colours, but it gives you, and that just shows you, it's a perfect example of that open drying time. And look how glossy that looks. So it's like
nice. Liquid
Centura Pearl, but you can heat emboss with it as well, and it just gives you, and honestly, put your finger over the top and it's like that gorgeous, it's like glass, it's almost like glass. That's with a triple embossing, and it takes away that orange peel effect. The more you do it, but the trick there is you need to keep it warm. If you don't keep it warm and stick it loses its tackiness.
It does, doesn't it?
It means that you can't put your powder into there. So I'm just going to decant that back into there. But again, absolutely gorgeous. These can be stamped with, You can stamp sentiments, you can colour die cuts with them, and then you could emboss them if you wanted to. But my own preference, and I'm not going to lie, is that gorgeous shimmer that you get with the ink itself. What did I do with the original one? There, look at that. That lovely shimmer that you get with this stunning ink pad. It is absolutely beautiful, and I genuinely mean it. That's my preferred. I just need to let them dry natural, and you get that lovely, lovely shine on them. So there you go, another impromptu demo. Very quick one as well like that.
Brilliant.
Are we not doing shimmer inks?
We're
Gilding
wax.
He's doing it. Oh, well, we'll definitely do the gilding wax one then. Go on then, we'll do that one. I'll get ready. I'll move all this to one side, Johnny.
We'll maybe let you do. You really want to do the shimmer sprays? We'll maybe let you do them in Monday Makers later on, Debbie. Right, let's have a quick look at these before we go on to our last demonstration. But Debbie, with it being the gilding wax, Debbie. This is your shimmer ink pad. This is your 10-piece collection. This is your toffee apple. You've then got your sugar plum. We've then also got our starlit sky. We've got our queen bee. We've then got our raspberry. We've got our frosty mint. We've got our amethyst. We've also got our lime soda. We're then going to be giving you the peach rose and also your tropic blue too. All of these ones, all 10 are going to be coming your way if you pop them into your basket and check these ones out. £38 or $68. $75 if you are platinum, however, that's going to come down to £30.40 or $55 for you guys stateside. They are there for you guys, Central Europe. You just need to go onto your website. All the details will be there in euros. So we're going to go from a little bit shimmer to a little bit gilding wax here. So this is also under the brand of Pebeo, just like Debbie was explaining before when it comes to the gesso. And this is your 5-piece collection. It's a 5-piece collection, but it is a buy 4 and get 1 free. Now, technically, you are going to be getting the silver for free. However, you can think of it in any way, whatever way that you want. You know, if you want to think of it as the Empire Gold for free, you go for it. You fill your boots. But technically, it is the silver one. So you're going to be getting all of them. You're going to be getting your antique gold. You're then also going to be getting your Renaissance gold. You're then going to also be getting your King's Gold. And then what you're also going to be getting is your Empire Gold. So these are all the ones that you are going to be getting. Plus, for free, you're going to be getting your silver. $47.96 or $67.96. You see that saving there, which is then transferred through into meaning that you get the silver for free. $38.37 or $54.37 for you guys stateside. All on Shop the Day for you to check out. But it is buy 4, get 1 for free. Right, Debbie, we're going to have a look at these ones before the end of the show.
It's been one of them shows. I literally just tripped over Matt. Did you hear me?
No.
I tripped over Matt. I went flying into heaven to council thinking, don't make a noise. Did you?
I thought you were off camera again and I just caught you at the wrong moment and you just jump in.
But Matt, it's my own fault. Oh dear. The bossing tin is shit. It's okay.
Oh.
It's okay. Right. Embossing and gilding wax, they're my favourites. There's lots of things you can do with these though, because I absolutely love these. Again, lots of different techniques. Now I've chosen one of my absolute all-time favourites. I will never tire of this one. Do we still have this in stock though, Craig? That's the question.
What one is that?
It's that gorgeous garden, country garden embossing folder, the 3D embossing folder.
Oh, I don't know if I've got that one.
Have you not got that one, Craig?
Cut and emboss.
I must have bought this. No word of a lie. When I went in store, I think I've got 5 of them.
Really?
I love it. I love it. Yeah, absolutely love it. And when I want to do multiples, I use it all at once.
It is in stock.
Yay! Oh, honestly, it is the most gorgeous 3D embossing folder. I think it's my all-time favourite.
What I would say then, we clearly don't have a lot of it because it's not been in any of our bundles that we've got of the collection, so keep that one in mind.
Right, so I'm just going to run some, and this is matte black cardstock, so With a 3D embossing folder, I've used matte black cardstock. You can actually see, it's more of a on the eye kind of thing. When you get it, you can see the different levels of the 3D, from a flatter level to a secondary level to a third level, which is why I love it. Now, at the moment, you're probably thinking, well, I can't see a blinking thing, Debbie. So what are you talking about? However, it will become apparent in a second, Craig. So just going to pop a few in here because we're going to decorate a box. Now, anybody who's watching from Chesterfield will know I've done this box before.
Okay.
Because it was a class I taught. In fact, you know what? It was a class. Sandra Rushton. Sandra Rushton came to my class.
Really?
Not that I go to hers.
Yeah.
She came to mine and did this box because it was a cheap MDF box that I just used matte black cardstock, black gesso, and create the most amazing keepsake things. Now, I've just done 4. You will need to do more because I'll talk to you in a second about it. But what we're going to do is we're going to do some of this. Because I absolutely love this. I never tire of using. And again, I'm going to call her out on it, but it's our lovely Sheena. I love this stuff. It is the most amazing thing. Now, when we were in store, we had a guy from actually Pebio Company that came and taught us about all their products. And they said that the most talked about in the world of craft, thanks to Sheena, was gilding wax.
Really?
Because it was you know, for furniture, for enhancing on wood and things like that. But Sheena says Sheena brought it along into the world, more into the foreground of. I mean, look how it's transformed this instantly. And this is one colour. Now, I am a girl who likes to. I'm a bit greedy. I like to lay down a lot of colour. I like to use quite a bit. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in a second. I'm just going to pop down a couple. I would do it for. Oh my God! Look at time.
I know. We're going to do a really quick vote.
Forget that. I'll just do the one and then I'll show you the finished one. Oh my God! I can't believe how fast that's gone. Now, again, little bit of onto your finger, onto your mats, almost till it's almost. I said dry, but not quite dry, and then blend different colours. Now I know Leanne. When I did a show with Leanne once, and she went, "Why do you do it lightly?" She went, "Just slap it on." And any way you use this, Craig, is, you know, there's no right or wrong way. I just prefer to build up.
I'm the same. I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, I prefer to build up because once it's on, it's not going anywhere.
Nope.
It's down. So I prefer to build up. Now, mixing a couple of colours, you can already start to see. And I'm using, because we've got them all in, I'm going to use them because they're just beautiful. I absolutely love them. Antique's one of my favourites. I love the colour. The Renaissance is beautiful as well. Different shades of gold and the silver, and I love these so much. I can't tell you how much I love them.
Nice to see being blended.
Honestly, they look beautiful. I just had a little tiny bit of antique. I think the only one I haven't got, because I don't know what I've done with it, is Empire. I've lost my Empire Gold.
Do you want to borrow the one I've got here?
It's okay, because I've just seen the time, Craig,
sure?
so we're gonna fly through this one very quickly. Let me just move those out of the way. Let's just push those, then I'll sort that out in a minute. Oops. Don't have it turned the other way, because you'll end up with a a bit of a mess. Tissue, or I'll be totally honest, I use a rag. I use a cloth at home, but you want to just take the excess off the top, and it also gives it that lovely shine. Now, in terms of why we talked about it being into the world of wood, I've got an MDF box, cheap as chips, couple of £1 from Chesterfield. But you can do, now while I've got some on here, might as well use it, you can enhance, and this is black gessoed, and you can enhance the wood, because that's exactly what this was used for in the Pebio world. And again, looks just beautiful. And you can distress around the edges. So again, I can take different colours and add other colours to that as well. Just have a play with them. Straight directly on, it gives it that aged look.
It does.
It's
look
almost,
at that.
I mean, honestly, it's just absolutely fabulous. Do that all over as well. Don't just do it. I want to rough up the edges. When I say rough up the edges, I want to add some extra texture. Not going to worry about this, because what I did with my black matte cardstock, Craig, was I measured the depth and dimension of the box, because that is going to sit onto the top, and you stick it on. Tacky glue is the one I'm going to tell you to use. Tacky glue, because you pop it onto MDF, pop your tacky glue, your wiggle glue, literally, honestly, Craig, but stick that onto the top, measure your sides, measure the depth, and then start to add them on. So literally, when you get this now, and this is when I did a class with it, And I literally, oh, pop that to one side.
Nice.
Oh my God, look what's there. My moon that I lost many moons ago. Unbelievable. This is because it sits on my craft desk. I probably put it in there as a safe place. But you can decorate up, and I'm going to add a little bit more onto that because that was a faded look, but all the way around, even down to the bottom, you can decorate your boxes. I even went inside, just use the Pebeo around the edges, pop inside there, again, look, and all I've done with that is, do you know how butterfly dies? Took a butterfly die and I gave it a little gilded effect to create, and just added a few gems so that you can create, and literally it's taken it from this box to, and again, like I said, are we thank you very much. You can take your cardstock and paper, you can add as much or as little as you want to create some really lovely decorative pieces. An idea that I got from Jan did it with some cogs and stuff like that. It looked absolutely beautiful, and I took it into class, did it with my favourite embossing folder in the world, and then added a few little gems.
I think it would have been a unanimous vote when it comes to demo of the show. I think that just needs to go straight in. I think that's going to go straight in.
Shall we, tell you what, shall we do it start at second show? Shall we do a demo of this show at the rather than who's on social media? Because Susie T will have a little kitten, I swear she will. So
Top of the show then.
Of the next show, because there are other things that are in there as well. I need to lie down.
You do, that was awesome. What an awesome couple of hours that's been, Debbie. Thank you so much. Just so much love for everything that you've shown in this show, Debbie. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Right, we've got one more show today. We've got myself and Debbie coming back for Monday Makers. We will start the show and we will then do a result of demo of this show here before, of course, we do the result of the Monday Maker show at the end of that show. I hope you've enjoyed this show. I can tell, and I say that because you guys have absolutely gone crazy, loving seeing everything that you've done with All Thing Colour, thanks to Debbie, and then even finishing off with that epic box using the black card and the gilding wax. Everything that you've seen Debbie been using, you can of course take advantage of your Club Inspire when it goes to the website. That folder, as Debbie was saying, it is still in stock across on the website that you can check out, the one that she just used. Country Lane, you said, was it? Country Garden that she used there with that folder, so it is still in it's in stock, Johnny said. So you can have a look at that on .co.uk, .com.eu. Right, we're all the way for a rest now. We'll see you in a couple of hours. Bye.